This is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course, go to the Weird Renegade website. Click onto the link of Blog Talk Radio. Listen to past shows, of course, of Blog Talk Radio. And I say we're going to come back with it. We're just trying to put it together. There's so much shit that I get hit with. I'm just trying to put everything together. So that's what it is, what it ain't, what it ain't, what it is. And you already know the 101 lessons, monthly lessons are starting next month. Of course, you already know that I do 101 lessons with individuals that I do weekly, every day, sometimes every hour, just about. However, which work is sometimes included, but separate, but included. However, you already know Wayward is about that work, that spell work, and more, revenge, redemption, and responsibility. Because you already know that art is occultism. Occultism is a motherfucking art. And you know, this month I've been doing this energies of Black history, since there's been such a focus on it, right? And again, next month, you're not going to hear about no shit. I'm just talking this month because I'm finding shit very interesting, okay? However, I see gay people and biracials. You guys having an issue? Are you misunderstanding where I'm coming from? Let's have a conversation, because it appears to me that y'all don't know history. I read my comments and they're very interesting. I said, wow, they really trying to Malik Yoba me, huh? So they believe they have control, but they don't even know who in the fuck they are and what the fuck it is. And when I'm reading these comments, it lets me know the ignorance of these people, because they too busy trying to put you on psychological warfare. They want to say stuff and air and fire you. You can't win with these people. You answer them, you can't win. You don't answer them, you don't win. If you respond to them, you don't win. What it is what it ain't. You damned if you do and damned if you don't. So let's talk history, okay? So as you guys, I'm going to keep repeating. My studies was sexual frequencies, because that's what I was going to focus on. And it cracks me up when I was talking about the biracials, and when I was talking about the gay community, that these people don't know history. Who's lying to these people? Are they not? What's happening in this world? Do y'all not know history? Do y'all not know your place? Do you not know your position? Do you not know how things are rooted? Okay? Everything is not about being fully discriminatory towards biracial people or gay people. Let's understand history. This is called folklore and family energy. Okay, now I'm going to have to talk in mixed company, because I can tell that you guys are on IEP. Okay? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, and I can tell I'm above your pay grade. And then you guys need to go back to my other video and read them comments. I distinctly put stars on them because I want you guys to read it. Because I think in their world, they believe that they ate me up, they eat me up, and they told me and put me in my place. And this is why, I won't keep it real, keep it right. This is why I tell my sons, if you gonna date out of your race and nationality, know who in the fuck you are so you can stand on business. You don't date no other culture of woman, and you don't know who you are on this earth. Because they will bring in their politics and their nation to trump you and make you believe that you don't have a nation. They will bring in their cultures and subcultures and come with a whole bunch of air and fire magic to make you believe that you're out of pocket, you wrong, you don't know what you're talking about. Bullshit. See, I'm a realist. and all energies. I guess it was wrong of me to respond if you're in the comments accusing my baby daddy of sucking dick. I'm saying shit, he probably is in hell. But I don't think he'll take it too kindly on earth. But I'm talking about my ex-boyfriend and experiences. Okay? So let's talk here. You heard me at the top of this conversation, because we're going to talk spell work, right? You heard me at the top of this conversation that I brought up Malik Yoba. Remember when they busted him out about that trance and whatever was going on? And then they went and did a whole publicity stunt to maneuver and push out a culture on the breakfast on the Breakfast Club, right? And go back, y'all, and look and review the clip. If you read it on the surface, you would just think, oh, they just correcting him. That's the right thing to do. Yes. But in reality, they were monitoring every motherfucking word. That man couldn't even express himself due to them over here, the side buckles, correcting him, talking to him, correcting him, checking him, putting him in order to push the agenda. Okay? So we're going to stop with this black subculture of gay men that every time, and trans, that every time you motherfucking say something, they need to check you. They need to put you in line. We're going to eat you up. We're going to make sure you in place. Check this out. White folks ain't doing that. They ain't even supporting your asses. Okay? And if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck, because I'm just talking history. Because I'm going to talk the darker side of Willie Lynch. The real shit that has manifested. Because we're going to stop with these fucking games that people are out here playing with our black culture. How dare you tell me to, in so many words, stop talking about y'all? How dare you disrespect my constituents who may have a forms of opinions and so on, who are gay males, trans, and whatsoever, studs, lesbians? You saying they don't have a brain. So let's have a conversation real quick. In the comments, in the last video, somebody brought up, I guess, checking me and saying, oh, down low men and down low men basically beating our asses because they're gay. What the fuck are you talking about? They beat your ass more than they beat our ass. And don't let them be cops. Because if they gay cops and sheriffs, they stomping your asses down to the ground. The fuck you talking about? Do you know what you're talking about? Are you in your feelings? Well, I don't want to be you and I don't want to be this. If you are a bottom and you're fucking in the asshole, let's talk real talk, right? What the fuck do you think you're doing, and what the fuck do you think you are copying or just emulating? What do you think you're doing? I'm tired of the stupidity and the playing of the games, because you're having an emotional, psychological disorder. And I'm having a fucking conversation. So I feel that I need to give you a history lesson, because that's what I'm basing certain energies on, because obviously you don't motherfucking know. Because if you understood, you would not be on the loose so busy trying to correct me. You can't correct me. You can't correct anybody. If you have your opinion, that's okay. If they have their opinion, that's okay. Because everybody studies differently. Your issue is because I'm not in your subculture. And that's okay. But I'm going to speak on it because they have made the gay community, men and women, the face of black people, which includes these trans people and gay people, studs, whatever, lesbians, trans. They are not the community of black people. You're not the face. You're part of us. Your fight is not gay. Your fight is fucking being black. Black, melanated, Moor, whatever. Scarlet, Aboriginal, whatever. That's the fucking fight. Because if you had a white gay boy in the office and a black gay boy in the office, they're going to ride with the white gay boy. Race and culture. You motherfuckers are so busy out here trying to argue with black women about your fucking dick balls and your asshole, you don't even see the fucking real issue. The issue is that you're motherfucking black. God damn it. In the energies of Black History. Black History Month, right? Okay, here we go. I'm like, what the fuck are they not seeing with history? So let's go back in history. As we call Jim Crow, the darker side of manifestation. Men, children, women, isolated. Ranch, farms. Caribbean islands, Africa, Europe, Americas. So since we're in the Americas, let's talk Americas. Let's talk about all of the fucking ranches and farms that they isolated each sex energies, meaning you had men over here, you had children over here, you had women over here. They had children separated, black boys separated from the men, or sometimes have them incorporated with the men. Everybody was fucking separated. And they was pulling these energies into New England, number one. And they're not telling you the ports were in fucking Virginia, Washington, D.C., and of course, Maryland. In addition to Philadelphia. But we're going to talk D.C. and how they pulled in them motherfucking energies. And how Maryland was a fucking incubator for incestuous. See, they just talked to you about the incestuous, but they're not talking about you the farms. See, they only told you about Jamaica being the buck breaking. No, we need to talk what happened here in America on those fucking farms. How they brought different people in these ports and then took the native people or indigenous people and put them on the auction block. Matter of fact, separated the male energies from the women, did a social experiment that created the energies of today. You guys not even understanding the reason why your great-grandmothers, your grandmothers had an issue with you being gay or even biracial is because you was the motherfucking Mark of Cain. Because you presented the history of the evil civilization of Holocaust and fucking slavery. Because you are the fucking face of it. And in their culture, they didn't want to see it anymore of the detriment and the nastiness of what the fuck went on within the Holocaust. See, you don't fucking get that because you too busy trying to argue about you having a man pussy, a bussy, and this, and I'm not jealous, and I'm not this. Oh, you, I'm telling you, fuck what you saying. Let's talk history here. And you're going to say, oh, she all riled up. You motherfucking right, because I can't stand ignorance. Don't come at me unless you know the motherfucking history here. And why certain things was put in place. You have so much anger towards the women or whosoever in your life that basically clown y'all asses for being biracial or for being gay, you're not even understanding the motherfucking mark of Cain. And I'm about sick and tired of you people who not knowing history, especially some of you millennials and Gen Zs who don't want to tell the fucking truth of what the fuck is going on because they don't teach you the real history. And I'm speaking amongst mixed company. So since we're in Black History Month, let's really get down to the root. The root of the issue is you niggas will go all the way back to the Greeks. You will go all the way back to the Romans. You will go all the way back to the Egyptians. But let's talk about the original gay experience was having zoology sex, bestiality sex. They were having sex with animals. And like I told you in the last video, they in Palestine, there were so many energies of goats, different breeds. So we don't know if the original frequency of the name was a ram or a goat, but whatever it was, they was having sex with the animal until this day. They even having sex with donkeys. They don't even want to talk about how they was having sex with camels. You don't want to talk history, how they used to connect gay energy to bestiality. We don't want to talk about with the Romans and the Greeks that it was forced and raped sex with little boys, and which include Egyptians. This alleged history. That's what the shit was going on. Then as we trickle down into modern times, when we talk Holocaust and we talk slavery at all costs of the ports, they don't want to talk about that DC, Virginia, and again in Maryland was the hub leading into fucking Delaware, leading into Philadelphia. They don't want to talk about the different ranches that was on the plantations where they separated the men, and the white men went in there and raped the fuck out of the men, and even had them having sex with each other, and then bring in the little boys having sex with the little boys. They was up, even the women would have babies, they would have sex with the babies. What the fuck are you talking about to me? That's the mark of Cain. You don't even know what the fuck happened. And because you guys don't research and study. They had whole fucking farms and ranches of black men, or whatever you want to call it, having sex with each other. And then they will rape the men and tell them that the women who board them, who vessels they came out of ain't shit. They ain't nothing. They're whores. And round the clock, embedding that in their heads. And that is Freemasonry. You know, some of you niggas talk about, I want to be a Mason. That's what the fuck they were doing. Then over here on the other side with the women, they raping the women. And as they raping the women with the frequencies, because we're going to talk history, they was embedding in their head that y'all ain't shit. Your men ain't shit. Look at you. Where's your man now? MK Ultra brainwashing. But you want to argue? You want to go around in circles? Makes me think some of that is white people, you know, up in my comments talking shit. Because they very vindictive and eunuch. They don't want y'all dicks to go away. They want it front and center. So you could keep ejaculating in their buttholes. That's their history. White history is black history. Black history is white history. The darker side of fucking Willie Lynch. If we want to speak real and speak right. Okay, let's go further. They would make black men believe that they're women, that they're black women in these ranches and farms. Some cases, they would have them dress up as women. Remember that movie called Goodbye, Uncle Tom? That's what that was. That is real. And it was right here in D.C., in Virginia, in Maryland, in Philadelphia. These people created an atmosphere and you didn't even know you was motherfucking sexualized. When they create all this minstrel shows, the minstrel show is a representation, the real representation of the fucking ranches and farms, because how you had to entertain for these white folks so they can fuck you over sexually. The ballroom scene? What the fuck do you think that is? The Latins, the blacks. It's a minstrel show. That is the energies that you guys bring in from the different islands, because it started in New York. And you had gospel and shit next to that shit. But you not even realizing your fucking ballroom is nothing but the ranch of when at nighttime, when the white women go to sleep, the white man would come back, come on, and be fucking all the black men and children. And they got so used to it, when they come, they were like, well, I want that nigger. I want that one. That one got a big dick. AKA the prison system. When you have sheriffs and police officers casing you out. And now in prison, you sucking they dick and they sucking your dick. And you up in the fucking shower naked and shit. You talk about an inmate. Watch them damn cops. There's a whole crew of sheriffs and cops that love fucking niggas from jail. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait till your black ass get out. We want to talk Sambos with the red wide lips, and y'all think it's about some fucking monkeys or whatever else? Nah, it's the energies of when they would have them put certain shit on their lips, because they was having black men suck their white dicks. We want to talk. We want to talk to Mark Kane. So if you gonna do what you do, you better understand the history of it. See this right here, and this is from a restaurant. You see this right here? This is a sexual frequency. This was their fantasy. This is their fantasy. And this is from a restaurant called Smoking Joe's Restaurant. Here's the menu in the fucking back. This is the fantasy. This shit has nothing to do with the black woman. This concept has nothing to do with the black woman. You see how it looks? It has everything to do with the black man and what they was doing during the farms and the ranch and slavery holocaust. So when you see all these Sambo lips, you better connect what is really connected to. Because on the ranch, they had y'all dressing up like this. In your ballroom scene that you guys call now, when you guys doing all that Vogan dancing, Egyptian dancing, and all those frequencies down the catwalk, bitch, understand where it really came from. It came from the ranch. It came from you guys entertaining white men at the lates of nights so they can fuck on you, suck on you. You suck on them. This is not for everybody. You're nothing but a fetish. You niggas out here having meetups. Save the day. Was it Black Connection get together the 15th, the Saturday, Saturday the 15th, February 2025. Hoss Unit, Market Road, Brixton. I don't know where this is. SW9. 7:30 till 11 p.m. Music, dance, and dress to impress. Black Connection. You guys don't know where this all came from? You're just a ranch. Okay. Somebody forwarded me this energy with Juanita Bynum talking to this individual in the church called Sir Williams. This is the ranch fantasy. Sir Williams is the ranch fantasy. He will be on the ranch after they then sat up and conformed him to this frequency. And you guys say, well, I was born this way. Yeah, you was born this way because you come from a frequency that trickled down the universe. There's no science behind what you're saying. You're the science. Shit. You guys in the comments up there talking about, in so many words, then don't call us up talking about your man. And then we got to give you money for because your baby daddy not giving it to you. If Black women are calling you up talking about they man, then them bitches are stupid as a motherfucker. Because in old school ways, you don't call up no gay boy talking about your mans because they might be fucking the nigga. You don't know what's going on. We're going to talk real folkloric and standards here. See, them girls who hitting you up talking about their boyfriends and shit, they don't have no sense and they have no standards. They have no morality. Now, don't get it fucked up. If you have a question, okay, cool, what it is. Now, if they coming to you asking you for money, that's out of pocket. Now, if you're the god brother, the godfather, you're the uncle, whoever you are, I get all that. But if they just randomly making friends with you, you just a neighbor next door and they telling their business, then them bitches are stupid as a motherfucker and they have no morality. They have to let you sit where you at as well. They have to sit where they're at. When in the hell did Black women go to Black men, especially Black males, asking for frequency? That was a conversation among women. There's the problem right there. Because that's not the history. That's not what we used to do. Okay? And the question is, well, how is all this happening? I say drugs, and more drugs. The drugs they have today is not the drugs that they had 100 and 200 years ago. I told you the Holocaust / slavery was all about drugs. Go study the Boston Tea Party. Go study cotton. Go study rum. Go study hemp, weed, heroin, elixirs, powders. That's why they all over there in Haiti, because Haiti got that shit. They know it. Central South America got that shit. All of this, again, was a social experiment. They don't want to tell you that the Ku Klux Klan used to steal Black men and Black boys and sexually assault them. That's why they were always naked. Before they lynched them. Have you ever noticed that they be butt naked? That's because they all raped that Black man and child. That male child. Y'all didn't understand that? Y'all just like, well, they're infatuated with the black man's dick. No, they infatuated because they was fucking that man. And then put him on the block to lynch him. The fuck y'all talking about? Where's your history? Where's your studies? This is what they're hiding. Then you got the audacity for other cultures to come in and talk shit. When this detriment was going on for years and years and years, centuries and decades. Start to put a number on shit. These motherfuckers came in and became imposters. When you see the real Queen Elizabeth, that whole London shit, those niggas are imposters. When you see the real Queen Elizabeth, when you find out that the fucking Statue of Liberty was fucking copper, when you find out the real people who came through Ellis Island, do you understand how scary that is? Do you understand the whole even colonial energy in New England? Oh, that is spooky because they got rid of people. When I motherfucking seen the real Queen Elizabeth, I was like, oh my God. That's why I was questioning George Washington. You don't know what the fuck is going on because these white people get history and change it and then hide it. And you want to have a conversation with me about some shit? They use sex to change the scope of the universe. They use the black women to change the culture and vessel and bloodline. Do you biracial people not understand the history of yourselves? Do you understand that you're the mark of Cain? Let's talk history. Do you understand when the black woman had her vessel disrupted? Some of them black women will have them babies, look at the babies and leave them because they couldn't bear the devil. The black women understood that biracial child is the mark of Cain. Understand the history. They've been mixing us up all along. Hell, I would have caught heat. The fuck you talking about? Well, biracial. No, you don't know history. You don't understand what I'm saying. You didn't understand when I said these South African men are impregnating a white woman. That's a different heaven. Who your child is who the mother is. And if you don't like it, so the fuck what? I don't give a fuck what it is and what it ain't in the neighborhoods. I don't give a fuck if they did get with black people. That's not the issue. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about history. I'm talking about the truth of the matter of being biracial and mixed. I am talking about how in some cases those children and people had favor. They could pass. They can do different things. You had the mulatto ball. You had, different energies out here trying to pass as white and they were black. They, at one time, they said if you was 1/16, bitch, you black. But the culture of it is that many elders believe that any children that were mixed had a mental disorder and they were disloyal due to this history. They keep talking about breeding ranches. Why are we not talking about the breeding ranches that they used to have of what I call the biracial effect, when the white men would go fuck on all the black women, black girls, and these girls would produce children that were fucking biracial? How come we not talking about that? You black guys, now I'm going to flip back. Now you black guys out here talking about the DL, the DL. The DL in DC and all that shit, you got to look at the core of it. This history has been trickling down. They desperately and distinctly fucked up a whole generation and descendants due to these ranches. So they only didn't have black men come in and be with the shit. They had other races. I mean, do you understand? They even had Asian men come in and have sex with the black women. Did you know they had Indians, the hybrid Indians come in too? They had anything to come in to have sex with black women. And that's why the state of who we are today is disgusting, because none of them bitches understand the history of the position that they had put black women in on these fucking ranches. And then they have the audacity to recreate these ranches, to have all these hoes. Hollywood is a ranch. You kind of got to relook at that shit that happened with that bridge. Was it Potomac? When the bridge fell, and they are alleging that some of that energy may have something to do with ranches being on the other side, allegedly. People argue me down about Tupac. You don't know where that nigga came from. Did he come from the ranch? Jada Pinkett, the ranch, when I said asylum. Did you understand asylums were also considered the ranch? Just like the prison system. And they were going up in them asylums. That's why they will lock black women up in asylums. And black men up in asylums. Because that was the asylum was another breeding ground. Do you understand that some people were biracial and they went crazy? Do you understand a lot of the men who they harmed and changed their sexual identity went crazy and they locked them up? You don't want to hear this because you just want to live in your existence. Because you don't want to understand why there's a certain folkloric understanding. Because again, the gay community and the biracial community was the mark of Cain. And then the sickness of the later years of the inbreeding and so on changed the scope. Then black people became conditioned to the white energy. That's why you have your Lena Hornes and that whole Renaissance era that was based off of colorism. Go back and research Harlem Renaissance and peep the people. They intentionally chose those people and that colorism for the Cotton Club and all that shit. It was to play games with our heads. So therefore, I'm not being rude or disrespectful to biracial people. I'm trying to give you a history of what was talked about. Do you not want to understand? Or do you just want to remain in ignorance? Well, I don't like what she's saying, because I'm Mexican and I'm black and I don't like what she's saying. No, I don't give a fuck what you don't like. I want you to understand where it's coming from, so you can work from there. Well, my mama white and I'm down. I'm sure you are, but you got to understand the history. I don't know what she talking about. I don't want to be no woman because she think I'm pussy envy. Nigga, you are. Hell, I'm pussy envy of my own pussy. Every woman should be pussy envy of their own pussy. Because you can't sit up and say what it is, what it ain't, and you practicing a certain behavior. And subculture. See, white men can fuck each other and go back and marry a woman and have 20 kids. They can go back and be J.D. Vance. and sit in your face and say, white power, straight the, and then be over there and in the cuts, fucking helliman, and then go back to their woman. See, that's not what's happening here. See, they're producing children. They're reproducing children. They're building up their communities. You're not. What you're doing is critiquing women. See, that's the weird thing. That means if black women are coming to you, that means black women need to restructure the culture, their own. Because we're all fucked up. Because we're under the darker side of Willie Lynch. If over here you got a ranch of boys and shit, boys and baby, do you understand that the black woman can push out her baby and a white man will sit there and take that baby and stick his dick in the child and try to have sex with a baby? Have you guys ever heard the fucking stories of how these men would kill the child just by that? And they had a fixation over male children? Where's y'all studies? If you understood. You have black men who feel they're helping. Well, don't. If I were you, I wouldn't date that nigga. And next thing you know, they get mad at you and fuck your nigga. All you can do for a black woman is warn her and say, hey, you know your dude out there, da 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 da. And if she chooses to be with him, that's her business. But it's not for you to go behind her back and be like, well, the bitch, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But that's what y'all do, and that's okay. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm like, dang, you over here so busy trying to clown us. What the fuck they doing to us? Shit, what the fuck they doing to you? Did y'all forget that blog talk radio that we had a couple of years ago? And the trans person came on and was discussing with us. And he said he's a trans woman. And he was talking about how he was getting his ass beat by his boyfriend. Then the other person that I used to talk to asked and said, well, isn't that a man? Because what the person was trying to say is that if you're not a woman, you're a man. And I'm more like, well, shit, nobody deserved their ass kicked, man or woman. The fuck you talking about here? It's domestic violence all up in that culture. Just like studs are a motherfucker. The lesbian culture is a motherfucker. They beating each other ass. Do you understand the Met Gala is having the dandy shit? Do you understand the real dandies are studs? They being funny in your face. They not telling you the dandies was really the black gay community. Nothing really to do with the fashion. No, there was an effect. You have black males that were feminines. They were feminine gay dandies, and then you had studs as dandies. The problem is that they have filled the community with a certain frequency and subculture, especially the ballroom. And you black women don't understand the culture of the ballroom and where it actually came from. And I don't think the ballroom understands where it came from, because you have to understand those are wayward men. And when you compare that and understand the ranch or whatever, the farms, they were wayward men who were lost and didn't have family, because they took them from their family. Just like, was it New Year's Eve, the day of destruction and separating families? Some of the men who were married to women and had children were separated from their families as mandingos and put on them farms. So were the women. And then some of the children were separated. White men have a fixation with children. And some of them children, when Dr. York had his energy, which was a great concept, he had motherfuckers separate. I don't know if it was in the New Brooklyn energy. The men were separated. The boys were separated from what I heard. The women were separated. And they were talking about the different energies that was going on with them boys. And some of you niggas up there lying, knowing what the fuck really happened. Because I have frequencies who was part of that shit. And their kids are fucked up. Some of them are dead. They used the plantation, the ranch, and the farm idea, and then rolled that shit into New York. You got niggas out here talking about fucking Akon was part of that ranch shit. What it is, what it ain't, I'm going to say allegedly. And I'm not going to get all into that. And the type of shit that was being asked. And scoping out some women at the fucking studios, record places, record studios or whatever. And telling them, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. And it goes for some of you gay boys too. Black people became their own motherfucking worst enemy because they adopted and adapted to a culture that was supposed to create harm. The biracial energy was used and created to basically create a new energy of species of people who were not for Black people, who received a psychological favoritism, who was the mark of Cain to change DNA and nationality. Nobody being mean, nobody being evil, nobody's being disrespectful. I'm telling you history of the truth of what it is. So after this, if you still want to talk shit, I don't give a fuck. I just need to give you a background of where I'm coming from because I can't read comments knowing that you're ignorant. Because I hope what I'm saying, that you do your own motherfucking research and understand the real goddamn truth of why your ancestors may have been mean, or your grandmothers and great grandmothers and cousins, because it's a trickle down effect of the real history. And you not realizing you're walking on this earth as the mark of Cain. I understand that we got young brothers out here thinking if they have a mixed baby, it's a beautiful baby. I got you. But Black people didn't think that way at one time. I understand that your aunties and them made fun of you. But in their heads, they felt they were saving you. I was having a conversation with someone about the color purple. And I was telling them, I said, I forgot his name, but the stepfather who was raping Whoopi. I said, people didn't peep that was a gay man. See, we don't want to think that our great-great-grandfathers were into that life. They were, because they was part of the experiment. They were Masons. Do you understand? Even with Prince Hall, they were having fraternity sex with each other. How come we not talking about that? Military. We didn't connect the Black men who was raping little girls and want to have sex with little girls was connected to homosexuality. Because their fathers, their great-grandfathers, they talked about us when we worked in the kitchens and so on, and how the white men would rape the Black women who were servants, and who we could say servants or working as maids and shit. But we don't talk about the butlers. We don't talk about the sharecroppers. We don't talk about how they would also sexually assault them. We don't talk about the little boys. We don't talk about any of that. When we go back, what's it called, that Django or Tango? Was that a Django movie with that Jamie Foxx? And remember, it was the boys underneath the table. But let's really understand that. We don't want to talk about how they would take them boys and them same white folks you see at that table all would be taking turns having sex with them boys. We don't want to talk about it. And now we have other cultures coming in that's part of the fetish. So when you out here talking about women and our pussies and our pussies and our pussies stank and this and that, you just helping the white people who will say that we're nigger pussies and this and that and da-da-da-da and our pussies ain't shit. And remember the Asian girl that was on the train that was at that black man, that whole stunt? Talk about you come from a nigger pussy. So black gay men, maybe you need to regroup and understand, not all y'all, because I notice it's a subculture and I'm studying it. I'm studying the air and fire magic. I'm studying the concept, because you are not just your regular gay guy. You guys are a certain subculture. And in a minute, they're going to put y'all to sleep and you will not exist. You will be over there in a corner. They had you guys come into Hollywood, create this whole atmosphere, put black women underneath you intentionally to restructure the culture. And I'm going to repeat, you don't understand that white men are fixated on women, their own mamas, and they are extremely fixated on black women because they understand the root. You kill the root, you kill the culture. If you arguing with me, you a black man, they win. What are you talking about? When I'm talking culture and customs. I'm talking real shit. Because I know you just talking shit in the comments, but you would never say it in my face. They had gatekeepers. They had gatekeepers beating up black men and beating them down. They had gatekeepers beating up black women. They have fathers having sex with their sons. Don't you guys ever think the natural frequency of a black man was never to beat up on their woman? The beatings came because of what? They would come sometime. It wouldn't even be one. It'll be a bunch of people just think it was just this one white man. It was sometimes a bunch of them. And they would sexually assault and gangbang and orgy the man in front of the woman. She's witnessing this. They keep talking about the black man. Now let's talk about the white man doing it in front of the black woman. And she looking at him like, oh my God. He gets mad with her. The whole plantation seen this shit. Sometimes they will coerce the black man and act like they nice. Hey, you want some of this alcohol? Come on, drink. He up there told to fuck up. Next thing you know, he's booty up and ass out. Sometimes they were so scared they didn't know what to do because they thought they were saving their families. It's more than just DL. It's being inadequate as a man. That's why you have these Kevin Samuels and all these motherfuckers out here. Because black men are inadequate. And it comes from a preparation from years ago in front of our faces. So we have to create kings and queens because we got to make up for the despair. And that's why I say, as black people, we are the only ones that got so many culture, so many dynasties, so many nations. Well, bitch, where you get your information from? Don't worry about it. You do your own fucking studies. I've been doing this for a minute. I thought you knew. So when you over here talk about DL men be beating on the women, what the fuck you talking about? Understand the history of that. Some men who were part of the Holocaust and slavery fell in love with the slave owners because they were turned out to this. If we want to talk black gay history, the black woman was sexually assaulted and raped so fucking much that some of their vaginas were fucked up. Then some of them white men, especially them colonial motherfuckers, have fetishes and sexual fetishes. You think them white women wasn't involved in this shit? You didn't think it was interesting to see energies and pictures of white women chaining up black women during that era? You want to talk about bondage and S&M? There it is. Some of them gadgets and shit that you see, there it is. And some of them ranches, some of that BDSM, when they have them hemmed up and their legs in the air and chained up, and the men would come and just stick it in, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. They not talking about when they would go and take the black men and kidnap them up out the jail. They would chain them up by their hands and feet and have them on their bellies, ramming it back to back, back to back, back to back. That's the history that they don't want to talk to you about. The summoning of Willie Lynch. And then afterwards, kill him and burn him. Their work. And you want to keep coming in my comments talking that ignorant shit? Because you think that you ate dinner? And then you don't even understand that you are a descendant of the mark of Cain? Nigga, please. Anyway. The first birth control was anal sex. On these ranches, they did experiments on women. Due to them getting pregnant so much by these white motherfuckers that they created and kept trying to figure out ways that they don't get pregnant. From tubes to wires to anal to you talk about these sponges that you used to put up in, was it in your cervix or whatever? But they don't tell you that the other first birth control was a metal gadget. Not only did they put it in your ass, but they put it in the vagina to catch the sperm. They would put metal in the vagina. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the fucking Breakfast Club, and the fat woman then came on there. I'm gonna say it just like that. The rapper. I'm fat. She's embarrassing me as a fat black woman because I know I'm fat. How dare I ask for accommodations because I'm fat? So therefore, being fat is basically a disability. So is that what that is? That whole Breakfast Club shit, I was so embarrassed for Charlemagne. Charlemagne, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I think he was having a cancer moment. And he looked at her, and they gave her that whole couch. And he said sectional. What did he say? Sectional? He being not. They gave her a whole couch. And she walked up in there with that outfit. I said, well, all the plus size, she could have went to Torrid.com. I said, what's happening here? And she kept saying the F word. I said, what the fuck is the F word? Wait a minute. Is this bitch up here talking about, you can't say fat? DEI. She's DEI. That's DEI. That's why they playing games with us, because she's a fucking DEI and trying to fuck around with the disability energy. He's talking to her. You can hear the energies in his throat like this bitch here. Just Hilarious was too busy being condescending. And I said that interview needed to be between DJ Envy and her, because who's out of the game is Just Hilarious and fucking Charlemagne. And when Just Hilarious was up there talking about, well, you know, the F word, I said, Just Hilarious, just get off the screen. Just get off the screen, because you know what you're doing. I was trying not to laugh because she was making me laugh. And I don't know, Just Hilarious, because I think they said she's an Aquarius. I don't know what she is. But you don't have those type of people around a Cancer. Because we're gonna be laughing on the inside. That whole thing was a fucking joke. That energy was a joke as much as that Shamar is a joke. Yeah. Stop it, black people. These people are disabled. That girl has an IEP. She has an IEP. And I hate the fact that they are creating and molding this new frequency again. But that right there is connected to Mammy. We're going to keep going. So let's go back to the Super Bowl. I didn't realize all the shit that went on. You got Lady Gaga in white, because you understand white is death. She up there mustering up the dead people. I'm more scared of the Katrina. Why was she on Bourbon singing? And did you see how the scene, and they had all the white people in the front walking, talk about Bourbon? I said, what the fuck? So you guys intentionally did this, and the black people behind them? I'm listening to the song. I'm like, with all the people that they could have brought in to sing, that's from Louisiana. Her? Is it because she's Italian? There's a lot of Italians there. I'm trying to understand some frequency. But if you listen to the way she was singing, she was summoning. And then they had her in the Raw circle with Saturn, but it was like the moon. I said, well, is she supposed to be Raw? Is this the moon? Then I'm like, but wait a minute, you got the people around her. Are we back at this Jesus shit? All I know is, bitch, why are you summoning the dead? Then nobody told me that the real the pre-show was the fucking halftime show. Kendrick Lamar was never the halftime show. He was the ritual, bitch. The real halftime show was, what's his name? Was Harry Connick. Why didn't y'all tell me that? Harry Connick and the marching bands and Master P. That was the real halftime show. Did y'all know there was a black girl who basically created the emblem and design for the Super Bowl? Did y'all ever notice that the some of the attire of the South Africans matches the Indians in Louisiana? Did y'all ever notice that part? Yeah. Did y'all know there was a black woman who designed? I can't find her name right now, but you guys could look it up. Yeah, Louisiana. Now, how in the hell y'all didn't tell me that? And I'm like, well, goddamn, here's the ritual right here. I'm looking at the pregame. I said, oh my God. Harry Connick was the feature. He was the halftime show. And I know that was Master P. Am I tripping? He was one. And then you had the marching band. Then you had all that energy. I said, well, goddamn, here's some energy here. They just mustered up the ancestors. Kendrick Lamar is the fight between Lucifer and Satan. Now I'm flipping it. Because remember, I understand what you guys saying because of the pants and the bell bottoms in the 70s and all this, and he was walking kind of feminine, but you got to go back to Jim Crow. Go look up the Jim Crow frequencies and you can understand why he was kind of bent and walking. That's another concept to look at. But when I'm looking at it from the spiritual realm, you have the Old Testament fighting the New Testament. Because remember, SZA is a Scorpio. She's the Old Testament, where Kendrick Lamar is the New Testament. So it is Satan against Lucifer because Lucifer wants the kingdom. And then I heard, what is this? Somebody was telling me that Jaguar Wright was talking about that they're going to sacrifice Kendrick Lamar. He's already. But it's a battle because they want to bring in Lucifer. When we keep hearing the Holy Spirit, Christ, the Holy Spirit, because they're in the New Testament. Jesus is Lucifer. Now I'm going to be Cancer and flip it. It's above y'all pay grade. Satan is God. Satan said, Lucifer, you doing too much. I'm sending you to the devil. And Lucifer said, well, shit, I'm going to get in with the devil, bitch. And we going to have fire and air. But I'm going to come back. And I'm going to take over America. Because we're going to be under the Holy Spirit and not the Holy Ghost. That's above y'all pay grade. They just air and fired us. Because the real shit, what that happened here. They gave us some. They is the war of the worlds over here. From politics to Lucifer coming back. We were never under when they said and played games with us, talk about Luciferians. We were not under Luciferians. We were under Satan. For you Christians, this will blow your head up. Super Bowl, voodoo. The white woman with the alleged voodoo doll that looked like almost a Zulu doll. I keep telling you about these white women and their fucking novelty voodoo shit. That who would sit there? I don't know who that woman was, but I found it interesting because we're gonna say, is it Mahone? We're gonna say for giggles and laughs that he's 1/16 black, right? She focused on the black man and the 15. The 15 equals what in the number system? We better understand what that was really about, because when you looked at the voodoo doll, what complexion was the voodoo doll? Now you're going to have a whole bunch of them going to give voodoo dolls and for real fuck yourselves. And for real fuck you up. But let me tell you something. And you're going to see it at the end of this video. And I'm going to show you some things that they used in their voodoo in their house. Okay? And there's a big, large doll that I have that came out of a white woman's house with the baby. That's a voodoo doll. And that voodoo doll right there has a name. And you will see how the lights are flickering. And I had to get permission from that doll to even put her on camera. But you see the energies. Then you see the cowrie shells. And I understand that those are West African. That was in a white person's house. They would use that for work. Then you see the standing energy that I have. They use that for work. I ain't showing y'all everything, but these white people, like I distinctly targeted white houses. I suggest that y'all do the same. Basically, we are reclaiming our ancestors from these people. That's just what it is. You guys so busy looking at the paranormal and these white folks getting these Raggedy Ann dolls. Bitch, that's the real Raggedy Ann. That shows me we gotta watch them. Because now they really gonna get cute. But they've been doing it. They've been doing it. And now that they're doing it, you have other cultures that are doing it. I'm not tripping off the Latino community. I'm tripping off these others. Because you have Chinese, again, going over there to Africa, and white people talking about, I'm the daughter of Oya. I seen some shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? I think as black people, that whole energy, and no, I don't believe that her doing that is what lost the game. It was already in effect for KC and the Eagles, but KC to lose. It was already done. It was practically done. Okay? There's a movie that was brought to my attention called Blink Twice. And I went on and looked at it. I think y'all should look at it too. I think it will answer some questions about that Hollywood and Epstein and them islands. Matter of fact, the ranches. Look at Blink Twice, then you can understand what I'm saying about these ranches that they had. That's the ranch. That's the shit that was going on. Those are white men. Okay? Did y'all see them trying to replicate the whole scene of the Kennedy in the Oval Office with the son next to the desk? And did you see Elon Musk's son? And did you hear what that little motherfucker said? And did you see all them damn Masonic signs Elon Musk was making? God damn it. Stop playing with us. Trump is not fucking president. That little boy whispered to Trump and said, "You not the president," and then told him to shut up. I said, Jesus, can you stop playing with us right now? And then when you see Trump, he's looking real interesting and he's transforming. I said, Lord, now I told y'all Elon is the fucking president. And then more and more in sports, you seeing a whole lot more Indians in effect. Because I guess next year, the Super Bowl is going to be in the South Bay, whatever, because they moved it from Candlestick Park and then fucked up all the money over there in Candlestick Park and how they was handling their business and took away that whole dynasty energy to have it over there. What is it? In is it Santa Clara? Whatever that shit is. Anyway, so they're having it there. And then lo and behold, here's an Indian mayor. Because the South Bay over there in the Bay Area is Indian. And then somebody was telling me about that dang Jaguar, the Jaguar owner, that he has connections over there in the Bay Area. I said, of course he does. So let's go back to Elon. So I'm like, bitch. I said, Elon, not Damien. It's that little motherfucker right there. He was at the fucking Grammys cutting up. Allegedly. This whole video is allegedly. Okay? I said, Lord, y'all. Trump is not president. Trump is not the president, allegedly. It's Elon and that little boy. They're not going to play with me. The other movie that's very interesting, and it's called One of Them Days. And I kept wanting to see that movie, but not see it. SZA, Keke Palmer, and Cat Williams in it. This was nothing but a Friday. The movie was horrible, but it was so horrible that you had to pay attention. They're playing with us. They knew them fires was going to happen in LA. Because at the end of the movie, Keke Palmer was liking this guy that I guess had a rough life. And I don't know if he got into the jail system or whatever happened. But he ended up being a firefighter at the end of the movie. The kicker isn't that the kind of shit that was going on with the firefighters coming from the prison? So, and then where they were located was like, I don't know where they were. It wasn't Crenshaw. I don't know, wherever it was. It was interesting. Then they had this whole arts thing with hipsters trying to talk about memberships, trying to talk about social media. So therefore, they want to monitor the arts. And you got to be wrapped. Talk about membership. The fuck you talking about here? In this movie, he gave so many signs. You want to know what also was weird? That SZA had on, I swear it was an Ogun like, with a fucking jade at the end of it. That's out of pocket. How you mixing a jade, because it looked like jade to me, and you know what jade is connected to and the culture of people that it's connected to, with an alike, a goon. Okay. As I'm talking about lynching, and wait a minute. You know that a Naja woman that was over there in Pakistan? What's going on? Because they're saying that she's not here in the United States. They talking about that she ended up in Dubai and went missing. Then we see her in Dubai. Then after that, when they finally find her, they get her on the airplane. Then the Dubai police took her off the airplane and arrested her. What the fuck is going on? Because people lying, talking about she's safe in the United States. Where? We need to get out that business because there's some funny business going on. Anyway, history, lynching. Over there in Charleston, South Carolina, there's an area that they renamed it called Ashley Avenue. And apparently it was called the lynching tree, where they would go lynch black people. If you know where that area is, understand it's ghosty. And there's a whole bunch of energies over there of them lynching. And there's a tree over there that they use to hang your people off of in South Carolina. The other hidden secret in energies of lynching, they give us the energies of black men, majority being lynched. But did you know it was more black women and the children being lynched? So therefore, they kill the vessel, the host, they kill generations, and they kill the descendants, which equals KKK and being ill-mannered. So therefore, they're not telling you that within the history that some of the women will have children, and they're not telling that they would either cut the belly open or the women would bore the children and they would hang the babies. They didn't tell you that in some cases, that's why black people had to have their own doctors for sure, because some of them white doctors would basically deliver the babies and steal the babies and kill them. They didn't tell you that some of them white doctors would steal the black babies and even eat them and cook them, sometimes in front of the mother. But they didn't tell you part of the lynching that white men would come and basically kidnap the whole family, especially the mother and the children, and hang all of them. And they didn't tell you that happened constantly. And it's not a war of the percentage. It's telling you black women were lynched and the children were lynched too. And they had a focus on pregnant women. Do you know what type of spell work that is? Do you understand what type of sacrifice these motherfuckers were doing? Do you understand a sacrifice and there's a baby inside the woman, what type of sacrifice that is? That I'm not going to even talk about what it is because I'm in mixed company and it's a lot. I'm going to keep that over here. Anyway, let's talk a little bit of black history here. Oh, what the fuck white people have in their house. So this is what they call what? A chocolate ice, drink pasteurized chocolate milk from Newell's in white people house. See how the focus on the lips? Want to talk X? Let's talk X. Let's talk the Confederate. They have a fixation, right? This is spell work. Just like I talked about the swastika, right? Okay. Now, I don't know. I have to go back because I can't get it out of this position. Shit like this, black people, they have this. I can't get out the position. It's something. I have to fix it. And these are piggy banks. Oh, it's Two-Face. I never noticed it was Two-Face, but yeah. And turn it around. Yeah. Kind of look demonic, huh? White people. And then you're wondering about white supremacy. This is what they have in their house, Hitler. And you see these all the time. So again, at the end of the video, you're going to see some other energies, right? This is very interesting. I need to figure it out. Yeah, but yeah, I'd have to turn it around, but it's too heavy to turn around. I don't know if I could do it, but you know, it's what it is. The horse and carriage. But that piece is this. So again, see the lips? This is what they have up in their house. Then, I got this from Poland. And this is what they have in their churches. Of course, it's the Black Madonna. So this is what you see up in the churches, right? I had to glue it back and shit because it came broken. So, yeah. And they call it Haley. Makes you think about Haley and Chloe, huh? Just different frequencies, right? So anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. It is up when you want some real motherfucking.
And show you also what white people have in their house. So as we seen the Eagles lady or person have that voodoo doll, hey, but this here is your voodoo doll. Okay? And this is a life-size energy, a life-size doll with a baby. Okay? And this woman believed, she said that this made her feel comfortable. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about that white people have in their house. Was also, we can say that they use of some sort of voodoo is this energy here. Now this is supposed to be from West Africa. Is very interesting, but there's a history behind it up in white people's house, and they were using it as a form of voodoo, as another form of a voodoo doll. Okay? This here. Telling you, these are the things that be up in their house, right? And then we can come over here. Give me a little tidbit. Getting closer. Let's come back over here. Okay. Just give me a little tidbit.